Today is the last chance to find the secret traitor. Put your theories and your evidence in the comments. We need to work together. I'm seeing compelling theories about literally everyone, but this is what we know for sure. It's not Ben, Hugo, James, Judy, Maz, Nettie, Rachel, Reese, or Steven. It could be literally anyone else. Those are the facts, assuming the producers aren't lying to us, but other than that, we only have theories, and I am agreeing with the general consensus that it's probably a female contestant. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, it just would make sense with the diversity of the group of traitors. It would be 2 men and 2 women, and that isn't necessarily a reason alone why that would be the case, but it is part of the theory. Reason 2 is because most of the contestants put up for elimination by the secret traitor have been male contestants. It wouldn't make much sense for a guy to want rid of all the other male contestants because it just puts a bigger target on their back just through a sort of process of elimination. So, I mean, it could just be bad playing, but yeah. And my third reason is because other than maybe Sam and a little bit Jack, the producers haven't been making the male contestants look guilty of being the secret traitor, and it would just feel kind of bad for us, the audience, to have not got given any clues. And I think, Adam, Ross, Matthew, I'm not really seeing clues for, whereas most of the female contestants I'm seeing clues for. And so I personally have narrowed it down to my top 3. And as much as I'm desperate for it to be Ellie or Fiona, they're not in my top 3 anymore. I'll do a full video explaining this top 3, but it's Jade, Jessie, and Harriet. I'm going to start with Jade real quick. Basically, she looked guilty after they picked the traitors, and she said she wanted to be faithful, so she was probably very nervous, especially if she got picked to be a traitor. However, I don't think they would pick her because it feels bad for her saying she wants to work it out and then not getting a chance, not even the slightest chance of working it out, because even the normal traitors are still getting to play as faithfuls. Harriet was so confident it was Hugo that I have to believe that she knew that he was a traitor. Whether that's because she's a brilliant detective or whether that's simply because she did actually know, but she went so hard on accusing him that it felt slightly suspicious. And the person I'm most convinced on is actually Jessie, which is the hardest to summarize, but as I say, I'll do a full video on each of these 3 guesses. But in short, she led the conversation, which went, if someone was in the room with Ben when he said blame it on Ross, then maybe they're the traitor. However, she led that straight to Steven, which was odd because there was like 6 or 7 people in that room. And so the fact that it somehow got led straight to Steven and was correct that he is the traitor in that room just makes me slightly suspicious, and I think she's playing a very cunning game. But honestly, it could be anyone. I would be better at guessing people that I think it's not than people I think it is, but put all your evidence in the comments. We can work this out. We only have a few hours to go. We can do this. Who do you think the secret traitor is?